In today's episode of the Platform Presents podcast, I have an interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Rob Freedman. He's heading over as the head of growth at Zuper. And at Zuper, they're looking at field services. Field services has actually been an interesting topic on the podcast recently. So we want to deep dive, what Zuper is all about and how they're helping their clients to grow and succeed. Rob, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Of course. So maybe give us, a 360 overview in your own words. What is Zuper all about?
Yeah. So at Zuper, we've built one of the world's most powerful field service management platforms. It helps empower teams and companies to deliver exceptional customer experiences. And to keep it short, we like to say we help deliver field service your way. It's a fully customizable, flexible platform that people can come on, and we'll help them build out workflows and set it up in the way that they do business.
And what would you say, which types of organizations, would leverage the platform? Like, obviously, they need field services teams, but is there certain industries, certain sizes of companies, where does the technology suit the best?
Yeah, I mean, really, we're across the board because of the flexibility and ability to customize the platform. We're seeing success with any growing business in field service, such as internet service providers, private security monitoring companies, telecoms, HVAC, renewable energy is becoming a very big vertical for us. Solar installation, maintenance of larger commercial renewable energy like turbines and energy storage. Landscaping, snow removal, the whole board. But really, any company that's in need of a digital transformation, who need to get off paper and pencil, get off spreadsheets, who need to just automate, eliminate those manual processes that are kind of holding them back. And our platform then helps take care of those processes so they can really scale and grow.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say, who within those organizations is typically bringing Zuper on board? Like, is that, from the C-suite? Is that more from the operational side? Like, who is saying we need a solution like that?
It's a few different places. We're definitely seeing operations. Anyone who's in charge of dispatching and managing their field service teams, who is seeing their company grow and has now got more techs out in the field and engineers than they've ever had before. They're looking for something to help with intelligent dispatching and for scheduling and keeping track of all the jobs. And but then you also got C-suite people who are looking to just elevate their customer experience and to look for more efficiencies, and trying to, with inflation and with everything going on, people are looking for any way to squeeze out more efficiency within their businesses. And then financial folks. We got people from, the finance departments who are they need help with asset tracking and helping to understand what's out there in the field and to understand their people and have better controls in their workflows.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And what would you say, how do these folks learn about Zuper? Like, what's sort of the typical journey, or in other words, the client acquisition channels that you guys would be leveraging?
Yeah, 6 months ago, I would say it was the vast majority were coming in through our channel partners. We're on the Zendesk App Store, Zoho, HubSpot. These different app stores was a great driver of new business for us, because people would be on there. They're just looking for a solution to solve some of their problems. They would find us, and it would be they come into us that way. Then a good number of people just, I would call it just this organically would find us on the web. And then now when I've come on board, my other marketing leader colleague, Carmen Williams, her and I have been really, working on she's got PR and branding stuff going on to help drive some better brand awareness and to drive people in that way. I've been amping up our digital marketing side of things with enhanced SEO, really doing an overhaul on our SEO program and getting us into paid media to help supplement the people who are finding us on those app stores. So it's really a diversification. And now we're seeing much better inbound flow of leads coming from these different initiatives.
And you mentioned the inbound flow there. Like, how do you think about the website? Like, what role does the website play in your perspective?
I mean, that is ultimately key to conversion. It is your first impression. When someone searches you, they come to your website, this is how they're getting to know you, your brand, what you're about, your values, your value proposition. And yeah, if you don't have your website optimized to deliver an excellent experience and to deliver the right information to the right person on the right page, your website's not going to convert, and you're not going to get the leads into your funnel that you need.
Interesting. I mean, in the conversations on the podcast, it comes up, that typically the marketers on the show, they're very critical with their website. Like, what would you say is sort of a strength of the website versus where do you see maybe even room for improvement? Because you mentioned, conversions, for example, on the page.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now our website, we're working on improving some of its core mechanics, making sure it's got optimized for loading on mobile, and just making sure speed, improving speed. I know we're also kind of working on a new website to help address some of those issues and just to kind of really better explain our story. Zuper's been growing so fast that we haven't really had time to update some of the value propositions. Some of our core statistics that we're sharing are actually now better than they were before. And we've got more customer case studies, success stories, and those things that we are continuously adding. So getting more content onto the website helps. It educates and also informs the visitors about what this platform can really do for them and their business.
I mean, you have been in very interesting marketing roles in recent years. What have you seen? Like, what have you seen to be helpful in terms of maybe like tools, approaches, method when it comes to actually driving more demand from the website? Is there anything that that you experienced that was maybe something that helped you guys, for example, in your roles to increase conversions, for example, from the page?
Yeah, anything that you can do to customize and personalize that experience so they feel like the content that they're engaging with was created for them. It's, for an example here, because we are able to serve so many different industries and verticals, and we have not just one or two personas, we've got 8 to a dozen personas that can take advantage of our platform. How do you speak to each of those in a meaningful way? It's quite the challenge. But with that, we've noticed when we're able to kind of take this account-based marketing approach and where we are personalizing content and delivering to HVAC people, HVAC related content and stories and examples that speak to them and whatever they've identified as their core need, whatever the solution they're looking for that brought them to us, we're seeing much better conversions there.
Super interesting. Very cool. I mean, there's actually one topic that popped up on the podcast, recently. I'm not sure if it's already in your industry, and feel free to let me know if it isn't.
Sure.
More and more marketers we see on the show talking about the cookieless future. Is that something that you guys are looking in already? Is that coming up? I'm just curious. We try to understand what's marketers' current perspective on it.
Yeah, I mean, the changes that Apple and Google are making for consumer privacy are definitely having an impact on ability to track and provide those personalized experiences. But also I'm a consumer as well, so I understand the motivations there for privacy and owning your own data. So I get that, but it is something we're planning for, that kind of cookieless future. But I think if you're delivering the right content and if you're delivering information and a true value, people are going to find you. They're going to come back, and you don't need to stalk them across the internet. You don't need all their data. People who see what they like, they'll come.
I'd like to switch gears a little bit because we talked about the company, we talked about who you're serving, we talked about growth a little bit, channels you guys are exploring. I'm curious to learn about yourself as a marketer a little bit. There's tons of content out there for marketers to learn. Like, where do you like to engage with content? Is there peer groups, masterminds, forums? Like, what do you do from the wealth of information on marketing to keep on, learning?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely keep up. I read a lot of the tech blogs. For me, especially Google. Google is a big part of what I'm doing, and keeping up with analytics and keeping up with their company blogs is a great source of information for me. I love keeping up with Moz and other tools have some great information on the SEO side of things, and then there's groups. I'm actually part of a small group of kind of CMO types or heads of marketing who we just get together about once a month and have roundtable discussions about, hey, what are challenges you're seeing, and what are you trying to accomplish, and we kind of trade ideas and different tactics and tools, and really keeping up with tools like PathMonk and other ones that are out there that come onto the market that are game changing. Those are the ones I'm looking at to see how I can leverage them in my company and in our tech stack. So there's a lot of information out there. I listen to a lot of podcasts, while I'm doing work or kind of analyzing data. I'll listen to some marketing podcasts as well.
Well, I got some rapid fire questions today to wrap it up. Are you ready for those? They're a bit of a surprise though for the guests, but here I think we'll be fine. What's the last book you read or the last podcast you listened to?
The last podcast I listened to actually was the Desert Oracle podcast. It's a nonfiction podcast. The gentleman, Ken Lane, he's an author and he tells stories about the American Southwest. So he's in the Mojave Desert, and I just like listening to he's got a great radio voice. So he's got a great voice. He tells these wonderful stories about history and things that are going on in the Mojave Desert, and yeah. So that's the last podcast I listened to, and then the last book I read, I reread Atomic Habits. When I joined this role, and I was leading a team that's a dispersed team around the globe. And I knew there was some things I wanted to change here at home with my daily habits. And so I revisited Atomic Habits. Yeah.
Did it help to change habits? Because the book comes up a lot in the podcast, to be honest.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I was like, I don't want to say that because everyone else does, but it's a really good book. And it's helped. Yeah.
Very cool. What's one single thing your company is focused on the most at the moment?
I think is for us, we're in this rapid growth phase. It's how do we sustainably grow while maintaining our white glove, high touch experience for our existing customers and the future ones. And I think we've got a great plan in place to make that happen. But yeah, that's definitely something we're keeping an eye on. So we don't want to lose ourselves in the moment of growth.
If there would be no boundaries in tech, what's the one thing that you would fix for your role today?
Oh, well, I mean, I'd love to know what actually drives people to click the book a demo button. I never feel like I have good data around that. And I think an easier way of collecting and centralizing our business analytics plus the marketing analytics all in one place, something that makes that a lot easier would be super helpful.
What's the last thing that kept you awake at night about the company?
About the company, for me, I worry about my team. I want to make sure that while we are growing and we're expanding, that people feel like they're still being nurtured and have a chance to and try to take a focus on their career pathing and what they're looking for in their personal and professional goals, not just Zuper's goals. Because I feel like if we support them in their professional goals and personal goals, they'll be there for Zuper, and so just making sure that keeps me up. Yeah, making sure we're doing right by our people.
Very cool. And for the very last question, right, I would love to do a little bit of time travel. If you don't mind, we go back to the days of Loyola University, Chicago, right? And now you're heading out of formal education into the world of business and marketing and growth. What's the one advice you would give yourself for that journey?
Oh, stick by your convictions. If you know something is the best way to do it, and you're in a conversation where other people who are maybe higher up than you want to do it a different way, stand up for yourself, but do it in the respectful way. Collect the data, collect the evidence, and present that. Not just don't sit back and let the old way continue. Yeah.
Very cool. Rob, I really appreciate you took the time with us today to be a guest on Pathmark Presents. I want to give you the very last word. If somebody would be forgetting all that we discussed about Zuper today, what's the one thing they should remember?
They should remember that Zuper is the one-stop place for a field service platform that is fully customizable and can be tailored to fit their needs. Don't settle for one-size-fits-all solutions. Have field service your way.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathmark Presents.
Thank you, Lucas. It was a pleasure.